Hare Krishna, welcome to Kids Class, the Gita class offered by Sri Sri Radha Govinda Temple, ISKCON, Bangalore. This is our beautiful details. Sri Radha Govinda, Gauranita is little Radha Krishna, and this is our Prabhupada. Behind Prabhupada, we have Narsimhadev and Asta Goswamis and Panchatattva. Daily we offer a prayer, Panchatattva Mahamantra, right? That prayer is offered to our Panchatattvas. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Precharini Nirvisheshai Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So as we are trying to hear more about Bhagavad Gita as it is, as prescribed by our Acharyas. Founder Acharya is Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj and our NND Prabhu. So, yes. In yesterday's chapter, we saw that the few important concepts which Krishna is trying to share with us, like Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kachit Yatati Siddhaye Yatatam Api Sarve Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Viti Tatvataha. So in this meaning, there are thousands of people who want to progress, hundreds of thousands of people, but what happens because of their limited constraints, the limited efforts, the limited desire towards the progression, few will not at all start, and those who start also will drop down because they are not continuously giving certain efforts. So very few people, one among thousands or hundreds, will be able to progress towards Krishna consciousness. Yes, in yesterday's chapter, we even were understanding how can I remember Krishna every moment. So Krishna says, I am dash in water and so on. So yes, allowing you all to unmute. Krishna says, what is Krishna in water? The options are given below. You can take a guess.
Taste.
Taste of water. Yes, that's the right answer. Krishna says is a taste of water. Whenever we drink water, our thirst will be quenched. It all clears, right? So that is coming from Krishna. In moon and sun, what is Krishna?
Light.
Rivol. Yes, it's light. In the Vedic mantra, Krishna is
Om.
Om. In the ether,
Sound.
sound. In the earth,
Fragrance.
fragrance, that is aroma. And in fire,
Heat.
Heat, Haribol. So we can, whenever we see fire, there is a heat, we can remember Krishna. Whenever there is a rain, the fragrance of the earth, we can remember Krishna. Wherever we hear sound, whatever sound we try to hear, and every sound is related to Krishna, we can always remember Krishna. That's how we can progress in Krishna consciousness. And Krishna says, one who is in steady, fast mind and understands Krishna, even at the time of death, he will come back to Krishna. That is the assurance. So, in this, now we'll continue to understand how one can remember Krishna at the time of death. Hare Krishna. Chapter 8, Akshara Brahma Yoga, Attaining the Supreme. How can one person attain the Supreme? Who is Supreme? Krishna himself is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, how can I go and attain Krishna? That is the question. Krishna will give us in detail how can a person attain him. When Arjuna gets to know that at the time of death, if one remembers Krishna, how can at the time of death one remembers Krishna, he goes back to Krishna. So how can one remember Krishna? He asks. Yes, Dhruvi, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
How can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, at the time of death, if one has to remember what kind of devotional service he should be engaged in. Such a relevant question, right? If someone says you have to go in this particular direction and take right turn and then go left, or keeps on giving you direction, we will be like listening and making note. And how to remember is our question. And now, when at the time of death, we have to remember Krishna means what type of services one can do is Arjuna's question. So Krishna says, this is an important shloka. We will learn this today. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samchayah. Yes, Dhruvi, please read.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And whoever at the time of death quiets his body, remembering me alone at once, attains my nature of this nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Mother, that is not off. And there one F is there.
Oh,
Sorry, nothing, Mother.
now it's correct?
Yeah, Mother.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. So when Krishna says Antakale cha mameva, at the last moment, what is the last moment? Death is the last moment. At the time of death, when the soul is getting escaped, it is going to switch to another body, right? It will choose some new body. At that time, if someone remembers Krishna alone, so Smaran Muktva, they have to remember Krishna, then they are going to attain Krishna's nature. Of this, Krishna is giving the certificate, guarantee. There is no doubt on this. So whoever remembers Krishna at the time of death, they can get Krishna's nature. This is Bhishmadev, who is lying on a bed of arrow, and at the time of death, he wanted Krishna to come. Uttarayana is one of the sign. Usually, people will take as only one meaning. Uttarayana is a movement of sun towards one particular direction, but Uttarayana is another term used for Krishna's arrival. When Krishna comes and is waiting for Krishna to bless him, and when Krishna comes, he is happy to depart. Because Bhishma Dev has got a boon. Whenever he wants, he can leave his body. His soul can get escaped. So at that time, he decides, let Krishna come, then I will leave the body. That is the significance of such a great Mahatmas. Let's learn this shloka word by word first. Please unmute yourself. Antakale
Antakale
च माम् एव
Jamameva
स्मरन् मुक्त्वा
Smaranmuktva
कलेवरं
Kalevaram
या प्रयाति
Ya Prayati
स मद्भावं
Samadbhavam
याति नास्ति
Yatin Hasre
अत्र 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 संशयः.
Atra Samshayah.
So when we are reading word by word, we pronounce it as nasti atra. But when we are joining as a old fragment of sentence, we call it as nasyatra. Nasyatra.
Nasyatra.
Okay. Nasyatra samshayah. Okay, let's learn in a bit. Antakale cha mamiva
Antakale Mameva
Smaran muktva kalevaram
Smaran Muktaiva Kabalaveram
yaprayati samadbhavam
Yaprati Samadbhavam
yati nastyatra samshayah.
Yati Nastatra Samshaya.
Haribol, yes. So when Krishna says one can remember, this is a very important shloka. If one remembers at the time of death, he can get Krishna's form, Krishna's nature. So we should even read and memorize the shloka with translation if possible. So how can we remember how the devotional service can be continued? Every time start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Those who chant Hare Krishna mantra every time, automatically at the moment of death also, they are going to remember and they have got more tolerance and humbler than any other beings. That's what Prabhupada writes in the purport of the shloka. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajjayante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tadbhavam bhavitaha. So whoever remembers their form and their actions again gets transformed according to Krishna, because when Krishna, we are thinking about Krishna every time, our thoughts, our actions, our feelings also will get connected to Krishna. That is the slower progression towards Krishna consciousness. It's a time for story now. No, this is a beautiful picture to see. This is a kingdom palace like place, right? Even more vast, luxurious palace was there. And there was a king who was ruling. He was very, very happy, and even the society, people, all the citizens in the kingdom were very happy to be under his control. Then what happened? He grows old and he realizes now he has to go to forest and start meditating, because for all the people, including the king, the ancient time, they have to go to forest and meditate. Their lifespan was long and they were supposed to go. That was their duty.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
What was the king's name?
That is hidden. You should guess at the end. We'll try, okay? Because
Mataji.
this is a common story. Usually kids will remember the king's name. I'll give the chance to guess at the end. Okay? That's why I've kept it a secret. Hare Krishna. So now that particular king was very luxuriously living, very, very fond of devotional service. He starts going to forest. And what does he do? He will locate a place for his worship. And once he's worshipping, what happens? He's locating a great place, yaga, and every minute, 24 hours of a day, he's occupied in performing sacrifice, yagas, thinking about Krishna, serving Krishna, collecting fruits and minerals, water, purified herbs for sacrifice. It has become his goal of life, nothing else. So his mind and soul is completely occupied. Even body, material body also is using for devotional service. So now king is becoming a rishi. And later what happens, one day he hears a sound of a great thunder, and because of the thunder he will get distracted, and he sees there is a small baby deer getting shivering and so much of fear in his eyes. Why does the deer fall there? Again, there is a backup story. What happened when there was large thunder? The mother deer who was pregnant was trying to jump the river. Why she was trying to jump? There was a animal chasing, and they was trying to eat the mother deer. She was very scared. She was like so scared she even jumped, and the baby got delivered. Baby fell in the bank of the river. Now baby deer was struggling to survive. Mother deer will not be conscious. She will jump around and she'll go away. But baby deer is very nervous, frightened. She has just
But
been to the Hare Krishna.
I knew the story.
Yeah, God. Riol. What is the king's name now? I can.
I forgot the king's name, but I know the story.
Okay. In the meantime, try to remember the king's name by the time the story is getting completed. If not, we will try to share the king's name as well. So what happened at that time? King sees this baby deer is struggling. What is the duty of a king? Every time he sees if anyone's struggling, he has to protect. That was the job he was doing when he was in kingdom. So he feels now my duty is to protect the deer, and he saves the deer from that particular sand place, and he gets it back, and he sees how beautiful the deer is. He will clean the deer, he will maintain the deer. Every time he thinks about the deer, he's offering the food for deer, he's taking care, giving the shelter, asking it to sleep. And whenever he's finding time, he will just have the very friendly time, tender time will be there, right? If at all a small baby is there, everyone likes to be with the baby. In one of the function, there was a small kid, and all the kids were like coming towards that baby, and they were trying to feel the presence of the baby, treat the baby, make the baby smile. Likewise, even the Bharat Maharaj was seeing the deer, was playing with the deer, enjoying his time. In the meantime, what happened? Whenever I used to sit for sacrifice, the deer used to come and used to think, okay, now deer has come, maybe it is hungry. I should give it some water, I should give it some food. Let me get some grass. And he used to stop and used to go, thinking always about the deer. Slowly his concentration from the yaga started shifted towards the deer. Now the deer was getting all attention. The moment comes when Bharat Maharaj. Ayo, Krishna, I told the name. Okay, the moment comes when the king was supposed to leave the body, the soul has to migrate. That time also, what is he doing? Is thinking about the deer. Where is the deer? Who will take care about the deer? Now, if I die, who will feed the deer? It is still so young. The jungle is very cruel. Wild animals are there. They can kill the deer. Who will protect it now? So, all the thoughts are going about the deer. So, what happens when he's going to die? The soul was getting escaped. This is the body you can see, and the soul is getting escaped, and it is taking the body of deer. Why it is taking a body of deer? His thoughts are all fixed on the deer. What will happen to deer? What will happen to deer? So, deer, the soul is taking the body of deer. Antakalicha mameva. At the moment of death, whatever we think, that particular body we get. This is the story of King.
Mother, you said half name of Bharata Maharaj.
Yeah, that's Bharat Maharaj. Later, what happens? He's taking the body of deer, right? First birth, he was a king. Second birth, he will become deer because he's thinking of deer. Next, he will be hiding in a cave because he gets some memory. And he will be hiding in cave thinking about he has to become devotional and all. Next, he gets a human form called as Jara Bharata. In Jada Bharata's time, he will not even speak to anyone. He will zip his mouth, always thinking and chanting about Krishna and Lord, nothing else. And he will not even an insect he will try to harm. Such a pure life he will maintain, and he will go back to Godhead. That is Jadabharata story. So now the main part of this story is what? If at all I'm trying to think about something at the time of death, I'll take that body. So we should be careful. What am I going to think? So people will ask. So Jadabharata and all the stories we are listening. He was a king at the time of his old age. He went to forest and he started the devotional service. What is the exact age to start the devotional service? So can you guess when should we start the devotional service? 60 years, 50 years?
No, no, Mataji.
You can guess some age. Let's check. What is your ideas?
It is when we born only we should.
Oh, Rivul. Do we have any examples who started the devotional service? Hearing
Mataji, Dhruva Maharaj.
Dhruva Maharaj, 5 years. Yeah.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Haribol, yeah, Prahlad Maharaj was there, who was listening. Again, our story time. Prahlad Maharaj's story in detail we'll look in another chapter. For today, just will take how hearing will give a great association to others as well. Prahlad Maharaj was born in a demon family, Rakshasas, and even though he was in Rakshasa's family, he was getting the mercy of Krishna through his great devotee, the space traveler, Narad Muni. And Narada Muni was guru of Prahlad Maharaj. He got the instructions and he was always chanting. When he went to Gurukul, Prahlad Maharaj was in Rakshas Gurukul. Rakshasas also have Gurukul. And there, when he starts chanting, all the Rakshasa kids also will start dancing in ecstasy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then what happens when Prahlad Maharaj is saying, glorifying, they'll sit and listen. These days, you would have seen, if there is a class, not all the kids will come and sit. Even though they are humans, they will not feel so attracted. When Prahlad Maharaj was saying, all kids will be like interested to listen. And one day his father Hiranyakashipu will get to know and he will push him down and he will start punishing him with so many kinds of different sorts of punishments. They're putting him to dark cave, punishing with weapons, poisonous snakes, elephant. But Prahalad Maharaj will be calm. He will not be afraid at all. And one day he will be like so much angry. He will ask, Hiranyakashipu will ask, where is your God? Where is Vishnu? Call him now. Is he there in the pillar? Prahalad Maharaj like, Vishnu is there everywhere. Even in this pillar he is there. At that time, to make sure Prahlad Maharaj words are protected, Vishnu in the form of Narsimhadev will appear in the form of Narsimhadev from the same pillar which Prahlad Maharaj has pointed out. And Prahlad Maharaj is praying, but Hiranyakashipu will try to attack. In meantime, Narsimhadev will take him and he will tear his body into pieces because he's all demon, bad, and he will kill. And once he's done, he's still angry. Narsimhadev is like so angry. How can his father be so cruel to small kid? Prahalad Maharaj is a devotee. So much of torture he has given, and he's still thinking and he's angry. Then Prahalad Maharaj goes and offers a prayer. Prayers are there in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 7. Whoever is really devoted to learn, hear more about Prahalad Maharaj, please read the prayers. It's very, very pleasing. Recently, we had the prayers discussed by Smriti Mataji. Mataji was describing it so beautifully. And we have to learn how to pray. We don't know how to pray. We should learn from Prahalad Maharaj, who offered at the age of 5 years. And Narsimhadev blesses, after that he gives even the kingdom. What do we get to know? Any person can start. Narsimhadev gave the darshan for the young devotee. It does not mean one has to perform the devotional service at the end moment. Some people will say, if at all some kids will start saying that they got the Gita book gift, and they will be like, why are you reading Gita? This is meant for old age people. Whoever is growing old, whoever has done all their karmic activities, they are weak. They cannot go for work. Then they should sit and read. No, they should sit and read when they have good mind, good health people, when they are very much inquisitive, like kids, right? If at all they say, some people say that you have to go read only after 50 years, then ask them, are you assuring me that till there I will be there? If at all they're deviating any person from devotional path, they will get sin. They should never say, discourage anyone reading Bhagavad Gita. Every kid should be encouraged to read Gita. Earlier is the better. Otherwise, they will be getting sin. If a person is falling down, no one will encourage, even Maya Devi will not like. And now, therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me. Krishna says, you should always think of Krishna in the form of Krishna. At the same time, what is he supposed to do? He should carry out the prescribed duty. What is the duty of Arjuna? He is in the form of Kshatriya. He has to fight with your activities dedicated to me, to Krishna, and your mind and intelligence fixed upon Krishna, you will attain me without any doubt. You don't worry about anything else. Now you are in the form of Kshatriya, right? Fight. Dedicate all your mind, intelligence, fix on me, and you will get to me. There's no doubt of it. So it's earlier the better. As early as possible, one should start devotional service. Prahalad Maharaj was so blessed, he was able to hear Smaranam was happening even when he was in the womb. That also can be done. That is taken care by the parents. When kids are there, start as early as possible. Now it's a time. Start chanting. People will have association. They'll dress up like Krishna, Krishna Vesh, and they dance. They perform. This is our Prabhupada. When he was young, he was asking, can I have a little Radha Krishna so that I can worship? His parents were the devotees. They got Radha Krishna and Prabhupada was playing, worshipping, right? And people at the old age also can perform. It does not mean people who have grown old, they have not done devotional service all these days, cannot they take up? They can also take up. Anyone at any age, they can definitely take up. At the youth also, they can take up. Better to take up at the earliest ages. Even when kids, you are there, please take up. If someone says that you should do it at the last, say you are wrong. Please attend the class. You'll get to know when to start the devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, who is the child here?
This child,
Yeah.
one of the devotees child, we got from the previous Mataji. Mataji had prepared the slide. We got it from there. We don't know exactly who exactly the child is. Devotee. Good. Hare Krishna. Now, he who meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering of Krishna, he will surely attain Krishna. Krishna says, who remembers Krishna every time, Partha, he is going to reach. You know, these are Vishnu Dutas. They will come and take. If a devotee is remembering Krishna every time, constantly, they're really going back to Krishna. You need not worry about that. At the time of death also, if you are not able to remember, and before the death, you are always remembering Krishna. Vishnu Dutas will come and receive. This is a beautiful aeroplane. And aeroplanes will be so vast. NND Prabhu says in Bhagavatam class that aeroplanes will be as large as a city. It will be having so many rooms and all. This is very beautiful. Hare Krishna. Yeah. One who at the time of death fixes his life air between the eyebrows in full devotion, engages himself remembering the Supreme Lord, will certainly attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's another way where people will practice. Like they have to concentrate. They have to keep their eye fixed in the mid of the eyebrow and they have to think. Then also they might attain that is there. But who will know at the time of death? What is the time of death? If at all we practice devotional service, Krishna will take care. Why to wait till that particular moment? If one is always able to fix his mind on Krishna in devotional service, it is very easy. Krishna continues to say, and Prabhupada writes in every purport of this chapter, try to offer devotional service and fix the mind. And then the mind will not be disturbed at all. The undisturbed mind, the stable mind will engage in transcendental devotional service. That is samadhi. Otherwise, if you follow the Ashtanga yoga, like pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, samadhi, that will take time. Instead of that, start with devotional service, and it is very easy to balance and attain the transcendental state of samadhi, always thinking about Krishna. The Lord is accustomed to blow his flute, Venum Kavanantam. His flute is called as what? Venum Kavanantam is always, and what is he is always attractive. Transcendental form is most attractive in the worlds. His eyes are like lotus petal. Eyes of Krishna are like lotus petal, and the body colored as cloud, which is filled with water, very heavy with water. That is the color of Krishna. Is so attractive that his beauty excels thousands of cupids. There are even cupids who get attracted. All the devatas, there are certain devatas who are meant for the reproduction. They also are getting attracted. He wears saffron calls. This is the saffron, the yellowish tinge, golden color cloths Krishna wears, and a garland. Anyone knows what garland Krishna wears?
Yes,
What is the,
Mataji.
what is that called?
Uh, uh,
Yes.
flower name.
Yeah.
Mataji, Pajata flower.
Parijata he likes, but garland is given a name. Think over at the end of the class. If you get to know, you can share. Okay. Hare Krishna. So that, and one more thing, feather will always be
Hare
there, right?
Krishna.
Peacock feather.
Mataji,
Hare Krishna. You got to know the
Mataji, what is that?
which one?
Cupids.
Cupids means devatas will be there, right? Kamadev and all you heard.
Yes,
Rati
Mataji.
Devi. So those people, even those people will be getting attracted. Everyone will get attracted to them, but those people will get attracted to Krishna. Yes. You got the name of the flower? Garland? What garland Krishna will be wearing? Ara?
No, Mataji.
Okay, let's wait. And it is clearly stated here that only by bhakti or devotional service can one enter into Vaikuntha. What is Vaikuntha? The spiritual world. Goloka Vrindavana. So, who can enter there? Only the devotees, devotional service rendering people can attain that. In all the Vaikunthas, there is only one Supreme God. The Supreme Godhead is Krishna himself, who is expanding himself. He's all expanded, and everywhere is there. Millions and millions of planetary expansions. There's so many planets, right? In all the planets, so many living beings are there. In all the living beings, Paramatma is there. Apart from that, there's so many millions of planetary expansions, universes. Millions and millions in everywhere. Krishna is there. In spiritual world also, Krishna has expanded himself. He's all powerful. He can expand. He can be there anywhere and everywhere, omnipresent and omniscient. At the time of death, the jiva sets forth to the path of new life. So one may think at the time of death, what will happen? That is a end. Some people will be like, celebrate this life. You have got only one lifetime. Do whatever you want. Enjoy. Do all nonsense activities. They are wrong. After one life, you are going to start another life. Where you have stopped, you have to continue from there itself. Like if at all a person passes from 7th standard and he has discontinued, will join back to the school. Again, he has to continue from 8th standard, right? He will not go to 12th standard. He has to take the certificates and go on. Likewise, once the person is ending his life, he will take the another life to continue. In case he's remembering Krishna and he has done devotional service before, then he will go back to Vaikuntha. He will be taken care. Those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial, immemorial, are constantly going and coming. Where they are going, taking birth and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation. Means they are not going to attain Krishna for they do not know how to surrender to Krishna. There's so many speculators who they think they are the ones controlling. They feel I am the God, I can show the God, or I can give so much of money. Or some will be like moodas, like donkeys, they'll be just working. And some will be like, I know everything. I can speculate what has happened before and what will happen in the future. Modern speculators are so many people. And all these people will never go back to Krishna. They'll just be taking birth after birth. Birth, grow, do some work, get old, die. And sometimes take some other body, sometimes take human body, again do the same thing. They cannot achieve Krishna, attain Krishna until they surrender to Krishna. A devotee of Supreme Lord should not worry whether will depart either at the arrangement or by accident. So some will be like worried at the time of that how to remember Krishna. If at all is a devotee of Krishna, is established firmly in Krishna consciousness and keep on chanting Hare Krishna mantra every day. Krishna will take care. Even if you're not trying to remember Krishna at the time of death, Krishna is going to take care. For whom? Only for devotees. This is a special gate for devotees. If at all you are in Krishna consciousness, you will be taken care. And yes, a person who accepts the path of devotional service will get the benefit of studying the Vedas. You need not go and study all the Vedas. So many Vedas are there. Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvana Veda, and so many Shastras. But all, you have to study all that. You will take lifetime, so many years. But if you start devotional service now itself, we can start. Start chanting Hare Krishna mantra with dedication, improvise the quality, and serve Krishna, then we can attain. What does it say? At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. This is assured. Krishna says, the end of 8th chapter, he says, whoever is thinking about Krishna, definitely they are going to attain Krishna. Now we have a story time. Now we'll continue our story, the comic time, the Shamantaka jewel. Yes, Dhruvi.
As Hare Krishna Mataji, there was a king of name
Satrajit.
Satrajit. Satrajit within the jurisdiction of what I can't see.
Okay, I'll try to read. One more thing, what we can do is,
Hare Krishna.
you're able to see
Yes, Mataji.
Dvarakadama.
Dwarakadama. He was a great devotee of the sun god. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please continue, and at the end we will discuss.
As benediction, the sun god awarded him a Samantaka jewel that would produce 170 pounds of gold every day.
It is producing gold. Okay.
King Ugrasena was the overlord many dynasties and happened to be the grandfather of Krishna. Krishna asked Satrajit to present the Shamantaka jewel to the king Ugrasena.
Yes.
Satrajit refused to obey the order of Krishna and did not deliver the jewel to him. Next day, what is that, Mataji?
Satrajit's
Satrajit's younger brother Prasena put the jewel on his neck and rode on horseback into the forest, making a show of his material opulence.
Yes.
While he was moving in the forest, a big lion attacked him, killing both him and the horse, and took away the jewel to his cave.
Oh, okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. This
This news was received by the gorilla king Jambavan, who killed the lion and took away the jewel. Jambavan had been a great devotee of the Lord since the time of Lord Ramachandra. He did not take the valuable jewel as something he needed, so he gave it his young son to play with it. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll continue from here.
Okay, Mataji.
So what happened in the beginning? There's a Samantaka jewel. Samantaka jewel is a very, very special jewel. Why? Because it is producing the gold. If you keep a jewel in one place, it will be like that itself. But this Samantaka jewel is producing the gold every day, 170 pounds. And what happens? Krishna says, give that to Ugrasena. Ugrasena will not give. Prasen will do. He will. What will he do? He will go and show exhibition. He will make a where you will wear that and you will go for making a show. And what happens in between, there will be a lion which will attack, he will die, and lion will be like playing around, it will take the jewel and he will no. In the some time, what happens, there is a Jambavan gorilla, it will fight with lion, it will take the jewel, and it does not know, Jambavan does not want the jewel, he will play, he will give the jewel to his son to play around. This is Shamantaka jewel, they don't know the value, they're trying to play around. After some time, when Prahasan did not return from the forest, his brother Satrajit will be like upset. What happened? His brother was wearing the jewel and someone has now hurt him, maybe killed, and they have taken the jewel. What has happened? Krishna was now target. Why? Because he asked to give that to Ugrasena, he didn't give. So people now are thinking, Satrajit is thinking that Krishna has taken the jewel. Krishna didn't like, and he went to forest. He decided, now I have to go to forest and get the jewel back. He will.
Mataji, I should read.
Yes, please.
Krishna reached Jambavan cave. Jambavan first challenged Krishna to fight. There was a great fight between Krishna and Jambavan. They fought like two opposing vultures. The fighting continued for 28 days.
Yes, first when Krishna approached, Jambavanta will not be knowing who is Krishna. He will be like fighting with Krishna. How many days? Krishna is all powerful. With Krishna is able to fight for 28 days. Such a powerful person was Jambavanta. Later, what happened? Yes, please.
After being defeated, Jambavan, gorilla, fight the Lord. My dear Lord, I can now understand who are you. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the source of everyone's strength, wealth, repulsion, beauty, wisdom, and unification. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, now Jambavanta will realize this is not any ordinary person who is fighting with me. It is Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. No one else could have defeated or even fought with Jambavanta like this. He describes, you are the source of everyone's strength, wealth, reputation, beauty, wisdom, and renunciation. This we learned in chapter 2, the 6 opulences of Bhagavan. Right? And later, what happens? Yes, please.
Yes, Mataji. Lord Krishna became satisfied by the prayers of Jambavan to medicate the pains of his body. He began to smear his lotus plum all over the body of Jambavana. Jambavana at once felt revolt from the
Fatigue.
fatigue of the great fight.
So this Jambavan has fought for 28 days. If at all we are running continuously for 6 hours itself, we'll get so many pains. Different types of headaches also will be there. Jambavan fought for 28 days and his body was paining. What that Krishna do? He smeared his hand, lotus hand of Krishna was smeared all over the body, and all the pain was at once vanished. He was feeling so relieved. And now Jambavan immediately delivered the Samantaka jewel to satisfy the Lord. He handed over the Samantaka jewel to Lord, and he also gave his daughter Jambavati in marriage to Lord Krishna. When Ugrasena called for meeting, and then what happened? Ugrasena called everyone for the meeting, all the heads of chiefs, ministers, and all. And at that time, even he invited Satrajit. In the assembly, Krishna explained whatever happened in the forest, in the cave. There was a fight. His son, Satrajit's brother was killed by lion, and it was taken up by the Jambavanta, and Jambavanta were defeated. He got the king. Everything was explained, and Krishna wanted to return the valuable jewel to King Satrajit. But Satrajit now felt ashamed. He was blaming Krishna unnecessarily, and he remained silent and handed over Krishna. He accepted the jewel in his hand but remained silent. His head was bending down. Satrajit was truly afflicted by the offense he committed towards Krishna. He felt very guilty. What did he do? Why did he blame Krishna? Why will Krishna require jewel? He himself is a greatest jewel, right? So why does he require a jewel? And to rectify, what does he take? He will hand over. Satrajit decided to hand over to Krishna both the jewel and the beautiful daughter, Satyabhama. Satrajit's daughter was Satyabhama was given again in marriage to Krishna. Lord Krishna, being pleased upon by Satrajit, informed him that he did not in any way need the Samantaka jewel. Satrajit gives the jewel to Krishna, right? Krishna is like, I don't require this. It is better to let the jewel remain in the temple as you had kept it. Everyone will derive benefit from the jewel. As a result of the jewel's presence in the city of Dwaraka, there will be no famine disturbance created by pestilence and excessive heat or cold. There will be no drought. Every time there will be assured rain, food, and people will be happy. Everyone will be benefited. So keep this jewel with you. I don't require this. Krishna gives back to Satrajit. So Dwaraka Desh